Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. This is the Choppin It Up Show, brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. I'm your official Marching Podcast announcer, David Thompson, and here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Good evening and welcome to Choppin It Up. I am your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. Today is June 16th, 2013, 6 o'clock on the West Coast and 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening, and especially you people out on the East Coast listening live. At the end of this broadcast, if you decide that you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network if you feel so in your heart, of course. Just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. Tonight on the show, we're going to be chopping it up with Rashad Watters. Now, I decided that for the month of July here in 2013, it was going to be our salute to our sponsors month. Excuse me. Here at the Marching Podcast Network, we have sponsors that allow us to help with the funding of the show and some of the marketing that Blog Talk Radio does and the special broadcast times where we can put forth our show. And Rashad and Block Band Music are one of those companies that help us help us broadcast the show along those lines. So we really appreciate him and all the sponsors that help us run the network and build our scholarship fund. I met Rashad after starting the Marching Podcast Network. I can't remember if it was on Twitter or if it was on Facebook specifically, but he approached me as the owner and founder of Block Band Music, and that he went to Hampton. And, long story short, I have a friend now in the industry, a really good brother, and really excited about his company. It's like the one-stop shop for, your band director or just anything that you need. So it's really cool to meet him. I found out all about Block Band Music and immediately, researched the company and then, contacted him and set up the interview so, we could, play it here like tonight. But, it's been great to, talk to him because he knows so many people and so many directors here in the field. He's got like all the directors you could think of in his Rolodex. It's amazing. So he even knows Miss Lolita Carter all the way out here in L.A. for Dominguez High School. So I was impressed that he even knew her. So without his help, it's great that the Marching Podcast is able to do what we're able to do. But definitely getting it involved with him helps us out. And then when even telling him about all that we're doing here at the network, without any hesitation, he immediately wanted to sponsor the network. So I knew he was the real deal from the beginning. So it's great to talk to him. And we'll also be introducing him later on in the podcast with something else that comes on that will be coming this fall on the 90 Degree Show. So in addition, finding out who he was on the fifth quarter, that was it's been a blessing to meet him as well. And, we're combined. We'll definitely do as much as we can for show style and course style marching music. This is definitely something that's going to get our kids propelled into their higher education. And it's great to, combine with these people who are our sponsors that actually know where I'm coming from, are marching the band themselves, but now in their professional adult lives are now giving back to the community. So we'll hear from Rashad tonight, and we have another guest next week. We'll be chopping it up with another one of our sponsors. We won't just let that go just yet. But tonight, like I said, we'll be chopping up with Rashad. Much love to Block Band Music. This will be a podcast, so, we will be accepting your calls. If you want to call in and express yourself, You can call at 718-664-6025. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com. Tweet us at Marching Podcast, or follow our blog, blog4.themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take this time to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, Block Band Music, bandhead.org, and Universal Credit Sources, and Big Deal Fundraising. So let's take the time to hear from all of our sponsors now.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. And coming this fall, hbcubands.com. Write that down, hbcubands.com. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. Is your credit score keeping you from buying a home, a car, starting a business, or getting a job? Is your score keeping you from living the life you want? Well, look no further than Universal Credit Sources. UCS can help with charge-offs, collections, late payments, bankruptcy, foreclosure, debt settlement, tax liens, and more. Our program is affordable with results in as little as 40 days. Call now for your free 10-minute consultation with Senior Credit Analyst and Loan Officer Angie B. Call her direct line at 469-362-9904. That's 469-362-9904. Or check out the website at universalcreditsources.com. Universal Credit Sources for anything that's hurting your credit score. Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players in auxiliary and shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560.
Okay, we're back and we're ready to chop it up with Rashad. That last commercial that you heard just right there was a commercial for Block Band Music. Again, if you would like to call in and express yourself about Rashad or Block Band Music or whatever, you can do so with the number that you see on your screen, 718-664-6025, and we'll be accepting calls after the interview. So without further ado, let's chop it up with Rashad Watters. All right, well, welcome, and you are now live at the Marching Podcast. We are here talking to Rashad Watters, the owner and founder of Block Band Music. What's going on, Rashad?
Hey, everything is fantastic. Getting better all the time there, buddy. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing pretty good, We really appreciate your time today. This is the person, the prune juice man himself. You've done the prunalysis on the show. We had a major hits. A lot of people listen to that, so we're going to have you on in the future for the 90 Degree Show, but we wanted to introduce the listeners to who you are and all about your business, man. So let's get right into it. Rashad, where are you from?
I'm from Durham, North Carolina.
Okay, born and raised in Durham. Now, are your folks from Durham as well?
No, they're not. Both of my folks are from the South. My mom is from further south. My mother's from Columbus, Mississippi, and my father is from Gadsden, Alabama.
Okay, wow. She's from Mississippi. That's really cool to know. So you did you march in the marching band when you were in high school?
Yes, sir. Marched at Northern High School. We were at Cornstyle High School at the time, and marched 4 years there playing the trombone. I was one of the section leaders there.
Outstanding. So playing in high school and being from the South, being there in North Carolina, what would you say was your first exposure to the show style of marching bands?
It all started with just a couple of people that were actually in my high school band who were probably big influenced by bands like A&T and North Carolina Central themselves. I remember my first day of band camp as a freshman. And, I had learned how to play kind of loud with the trombone, but I really didn't think it was all that flexible and versatile instrument. And then I met this guy there. His name was Shelton, and he helped me to change my life, man. He said, no, man, the trombone can play 272 notes. There's some odd random number that he came up with. I don't know what it was, but over the course of the year, man, he would teach me and the other trombone players. There's a lot of African Americans that were in the trombone section at the time, even though we were, of course, our school. There's a lot of African Americans that he would teach us how to play a couple of songs, and although the rest of them didn't keep up with it, I continued to do it. I started to get hungry for it. I wanted him to teach me more and more songs. After he graduated, I started doing that type of stuff myself. So, teaching other people how to play songs, and that's how I kind of got into learning how to transpose and becoming a little bit of an arranger myself at the time. But the first time I actually saw, we did see Hillside and Durham High School. Performing against them on a regular basis. But the first time I saw a college band, I guess would be watching Southern University on TV. It had to be probably 1994. So I was probably a junior, I guess. And just seeing that band, man, I remember there was one particular thing, and I hope that this goes out to the trombone player that I saw do this, man. But this guy was marching so hard, man, and then he hit this turn on yard line, and when he turned and threw his horn in the air, his shaker came flying at the camera, and he turned and went the other direction. Man, I still remember that to this day. I thought that was so cool, and I said, man, I got to do that. And so my father saw my love for that type of band, which I really didn't know much about, and he found out about Family Band Camp. And that's when it really, really all changed, going down to Family Band Camp and spending a week down there.
That's outstanding. So, you probably seeing Southern on TV. Was that the Bayou Classic?
Yep, Bayou Classic. Watch it every year.
Okay, and also a couple of things. You said 94. You think you were a junior in high school, you think?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that means we about the same age, because like 94, 95, I think I was a junior. That was like my junior year. So what year did you go to FAMU band camp?
You know what? It must have been 93 that I saw them, or 92, because let me see here. It was around that time. I started college in 95. That would have meant I was a senior in 94. So I was a junior in 93, and that's what I saw. So 93 is when I saw Southern, and so I was going to Family Band Camp the following summer, which would have been 94.
Okay. So yes, you maybe not too much off for me, but yeah, just a little bit. So I was actually there at FAMU's band camp in 95. So
wow.
Yeah, that's small world, man. Yeah, I remember that. It was a really good experience. The main thing I remember is how much work we did. Like we did a halftime show, we did a pregame. We had concert band, and we had an orange band and green band. So we did a concert performance. I remember just us just being tired and everybody like on their rest in their music, like sleep. You remember you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just remember just being asleep because we worked, man. We really did. We put in a lot of work that week.
We didn't sleep too much, man, because the day of the concert, which was the very last day where everybody was exhausted, they kept threatening to throw water at you. So we going to dump a bucket of water on you, so you tried your best, not to get dumped.
that's what's up, man. That's actually really, really cool. So moving on, you had the experience in high school. You've had the exposure with Southern and all. Where did you end up selecting to go march when you were in college?
I decided to go to Hampton University, and I wanted to major in engineering because I thought that I was told that is what a young African American male should do. It's a great field for African American male. But my passion was music. I didn't want to be a band director though because I didn't think I could read music that well, and so I went to Hampton and I found out that they had music engineering. I was like, oh, okay, music engineering, black school, black band, let's do it.
Yeah, man, I remember when I was looking for colleges, remember seeing that Hampton had that musical engineering degree. I think a couple of other schools now have it. I believe South Carolina State has it and maybe some other schools, but it's an outstanding major to offer. You know, it's really exciting. I think that's really exciting for the, young black youth to get into any type of engineering really, but, music engineering definitely, it's something you feel like we're much more easier to dive into, especially at a young college age,
Oh, yeah. You want to sit down and press the buttons and make it sound good, man.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really cool. So you marched trombone at Hampton,
right.
And what would you say made you select Hampton?
That was the main thing, is, the major. Of course, and Mr. Smart, the band director there, recruited me at the time. I had gone down to Morehouse, actually, because that was in my other pick, and sat in with the band a little bit during one of the games, or just, sat with them, I guess. And I never did hear back from, I think it was Mr. Gaines at the time, but I remember I was home alone one day, and I was this is a G-rated program, but I was sitting on the throne, and, I asked, the phone rang, and I answered it, sure there was plenty of echo as I answered.
Right.
And I said, hey, Mr. Gaines, because I heard this, this adult, black male person, and I said, hey, Mr. Gaines, and he just kept talking. I didn't realize that it was Mr. Smart from Hampton. And, he had me to make sure that I came up and did an audition for him. So, and also I went to Hampton Band Camp that summer, but, that's pretty much what locked it in. They were going to give me some money to go. I didn't want to go to A&T, because A&T was, a lot of the black kids in my school went to A&T, and I just wanted to have an opportunity to kind of start over again and redefine myself as a person. I was a nerd in high school, still a little bit of a nerd, but I wanted to, try to put some of that behind me. So Hampton was far enough away, being 3.5 hours away, that I could kind of be away from some of those associations back from home and just kind of start over again.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
My parents said, you're not going to Howard because you're not going to be in downtown D.C., and you're not going to Southern because you're too far away.
Right.
And you're not going. And had Sam. I like Sam, but it had too many hills. I learned that at Family Band Camp.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you said that about wanting to venture out and be different, because there's people in both sides of the coin, so to speak. You have people that grow up in a certain region and they love your FAMUs or your South Carolina States or your A&Ts. But you also have that population that just because it's there in town, you don't like it. Like, you want to do something different. So it's really cool to meet people, because, I didn't really have a choice. Like, there was no, band atmosphere in St. Louis, but it's really, really cool to meet someone from North Carolina that goes to Hampton, or someone from Florida that goes to Southern, just because, and that's what they always say, that's pretty consistent. It's like, hey, everybody and their mama loves Southern at my high school. I want to do something different. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, man. So what would you say was your most memorable experience? And it's the Force, right? That's the name of the Force. What was your most memorable experience with the marching force?
Oh, so many, man. With Hampton's band, we had a chance to travel, all across the country, following the team. But I guess one of the most memorable performances was playing Southern University. We played them 3 times during my matriculation at Hampton, and it was our very last game of my career. We were actually selected to go to the Heritage Bowl. you know. So I was ready too, man. I was not ready to go, but I was, you know, I knew my stuff. And our trombone section at Hampton, man, we were bad. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that at all. We were bad. And Mr. Smart has selected us to play this song called "Doing It to Death." And I was one of the section leaders. I was the assistant, actually. When we first learned the song, that was in '97, and we had about half a semester to learn it and get it ready. In '99, when I was assistant section leader, I told Mr. Smart, you know what? I think we've got the guns again to play this. You know, he said okay, and then. Like a week before time for the Heritage Bowl, I was like, okay, you got to go learn it. So, and it was a whole different section by that time. So, you know, you're talking about half a semester versus a week or two to learn a very difficult song. But we learned it, we pulled it off. The Heritage Bowl was on national television, and we got a chance to go out there and play one of my favorite bands. And I thought we did a heck of a job. A lot of people will say, I know we'll get booze as soon as I say this, but a lot of people think that we were the better band that day, I guess. So, and I'm, you know, in my humble and unbiased opinion, I think that we were. Well, I should say we did the better performance. You can't take away from Southern and their precision and their drill. You can't take that away. They're bad at that. But I just think that I think we did do a better performance. So I mean, last game, trombone solo, national TV, Southern University. Better show. I mean, how could you do any better than that, you know?
Yeah, man, that's actually a really good story. It sounds just like what happened my crab year in 1997 with Howard University. Howard came to Jackson, and I remember, man, we were so, like, we saw them, and we were like, man, we were ready to blow them out, you know. It was so funny because they showed up late. And when they got in the stands, they didn't know where to go. They didn't know, like, where the other band was supposed to go. So they lined up at a corner away from us. So they didn't sit on the other side of us at Memorial Stadium so they could get the full blast. You know, they sat at a corner. And I'll never forget how, like, we laughed at them. They was like, man, they came out here scared. But halftime, they were ready. I mean, just like you said, they couldn't match Jackson State, period, but they had a really good show. You know, they had, they said, you got me going in circles, Jackson State, and then they made all these circles. It was a good performance. So I'm pretty sure those folks in '97 Howard have the exact same story that you do about Southern. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's really cool, man. I love hearing that type of stuff. Okay, so. Man, I'm getting away from the time. Okay, right quick. Okay, so musical engineering, that was your major. You finished Hampton, and then later on, I see that you developed block band music, which is the Super Bomb. Could you talk about that, like how you started it?
Super Bomb. Say what again?
Yeah, could you talk about how you started block band music?
Oh man. Okay. Well, it kind of started from a development with another company. Some friends and I had got together, and they said, "Hey, you know, we need to have a company where we arrange music." And I was kind of in that business mindset already. I was a proud distributor with Amway. Still excited about that. So I was always in that mindset of that. So when they said, let's have business, I said, hey, let's go. And, you know, it was okay. We did pretty well. But at some point I just decided I wanted to venture out on my own. None of us were percussionists, and so I met a guy who was a percussionist as well. And then, you know, we hooked up, and we started block band together. That didn't work out, but, you know, block band continued. Block band continued to live and continued to thrive. And so I'm excited about, you know, what's going on right now. For us to be try to be a blessing to band directors. That's our goal, is to try to serve them as much as possible and provide everything that they need.
I'm glad you said that, man, because that rolls right into my next question. What are those services that you provide for block band music?
Oh, man, what don't we provide? We provide marching band music. We even do things with pep band, holiday parade music. We do arrangements of concert band music. Like, we just got an arrangement of Rich Different Voices Sing. That's awesome. We also have traditional concert band music, so you want to make sure you have your Gustav Holst, your David Holsingers, all those guys, Robert W. Smith, we got them too. But we do more than just music. We've got spats, we've got shoes, gloves, mouthpieces, reeds, flags for your auxiliary shoes for them as well, drumsticks, drum heads, mallets. I mean, pretty much, you name it, we got it, man. There's only a few things that we don't have yet, and those things will be included probably in the next few years.
Yeah, that's why I was really excited to, talk with you, and also to announce we sent out a blog post that, you're one of our pioneer sponsors, so we really appreciate that. But, we really wanted to pub what you're doing. You also create drills. Like, you guys also write drills when people go to your website, and we'll give all that information out. But it's really cool because you have a continuity sheet on there, and it actually is animated, So I think that's really cool, man. I just really appreciate what you're doing because it's like a one-stop shop for band directors, you know what I mean, which is really, really great. What has been the best thing that's happened to you so far? Because, I know how it is, starting your own business and whatnot. What was the experience when you look back and you was like, wow, this is a tremendous blessing. I'm really happy, really thankful.
Man, more so than anything else is just my staff, man. God blesses you with people. And, I've just been so happy and pleased with the people that come on board. I have my internal departments, with me. I have my arrangers with me. I've got two ladies that have been backing me up, for over a year now. The names are Altavice Terry and Sheree Latavia. Man, they help me out, man. So they really come through and do everything that needs to be done so that I can focus on building the company. And then I've got my team of arrangers right now. Brandon Wood, who's a Norfolk State cat. Oh, man, I can't believe I did that. Wait, I didn't bring on just one. I brought on two.
Wow.
I got Emmanuel Hernandez, who's a fantastic racer on his own right, also a Norfolk State grad. And also got Larry Newby as well, and he's from Lincoln College. And bringing on some other guys as well. So we'll see how they'll do, so I won't mention any other names right now, man. But also bring on, salesperson, and we'll see how he does. I won't mention any other names right now. But just them, man, just them backing me up and being there for me and listening to what I say. Because as you can tell by this recording, I'm very verbose. So they listen to 10, right, they're listening to me. And that kind of makes you feel good. That's
outstanding, man. Right quick, you are the prune juice man on the fifth quarter. And you write the prunalysis. Could you just talk about... could you just talk about, the prunalysis just for a second, because we're going to feature your prunalysis for whatever band or for whatever battle you go to this fall in the upcoming year, 2013. Could you talk about the prunalysis and, what made you start? Because it's really cool. It's very, very descriptive, man. Probably the most descriptive thing out there. Could you talk about, when you started doing it and, what made you start doing that?
Sure. When I was in Hampton's band, man, I knew all my music. It was never a question. So I always assumed that when I played well, that our band was the better band that day. And a lot of times that was the case. But sometimes it wasn't. But I didn't know that. It wasn't until after I graduated and standing outside the band. And you can hear other things. You can hear things that you can't hear while you're in the band. You can hear when the section is really pumping or really not pumping sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, I kind of took it upon myself as I traveled to different games to start writing down what I heard. I was in 2000. I think my first game I went to like that was Winston-Salem versus Bowie State. And that was the very first prunalysis, 2000 Winston versus Bowie State. And I just kind of kept doing it. The more games that I attended, I would write it down. I had a little bit of a hiatus, for a couple of years, but now, I'm back, particularly doing the Honda Battle of the Bands. And it's something that I enjoy doing because I want people to know what happened. I don't want them to have the biased opinion, oh, you sucked, you were terrible, oh, they were great. I want them to know if I thought they were great, why? Here's why. Or I want you to know if you were in, so-and-so's band and you thought you had the better show, I want you to know, no, wait a second, your melophones are real out of tune. Or somebody came in early and you didn't know that. Because you in the band, you didn't know that. I knew that. And so I want to make sure that you know about it. So therefore, you can use it as a tool to get better. And it's just basically time for somebody to invest their time into helping this art form continue to grow better and better.
That's outstanding, man. It's really cool, really good to talk to you. So let's go ahead and give out some of your information. We want to go ahead and, for all the people listening, we want to give them an opportunity to contact you or even spread the word to the band directors that they know. So could you give us all of your information for block band music, at any future plans or anything that you got coming up on the radar? Just go ahead, and we just want to show some love to block band music right now.
Okay. Well, the first way to reach us is on my cell, which is 919-698-2560. Again, that's 919-698-2560. I'm always a phone call away. If I don't answer, I'll make sure to get back to you. But also, you can email us at blockbandmusic, that's BLOCK, bandmusic@gmail.com. You can check out our website, which is blockbandmusic.com. If this makes sense, right? You can find us on Twitter, blockbandmp on Twitter, and on Facebook, of course, by typing in Block Band Music and Publishing. But things that we have coming, man, we're shooting out so many things it's hard to keep up. But right now we're really focusing on concert band music, so those who are wanting that traditional concert band music so they can get ready for festivals. Because we all know that a good marching band is built during concert band season. So we have all of that stuff ready for you. But also with Black History Month, once again, we're featuring our Lift Every Voice and Sing that we have, that we're getting out to people. And we really hope band directors will pick that up because it is a fantastic arrangement. But we're also doing our pep band bundle package right now, which is 7 songs that you can just get, five songs that you can choose out of a total of 9, and you can choose those 5 for just $75. So you get 9 songs, you choose the 5 that you want, and it's just $75. Oh man, we got percussion. People are doing in the drum line things right now, so we're trying to make sure everybody's got the right drum mallets for indoor things and not just the things that outdoor mallets. Drumsticks, drum heads. We want to make sure everybody's got the right equipment, and you don't go to the drum competition with the wrong stuff and you lose because your players are good, but you have the wrong equipment. So those are the main things right now, Joe. And as we continue to get rolling, we'll pick up on our drill again and also our marching band music.
That's outstanding.
Oh, and of course we have the shoes and the flags for the ladies as well.
Oh, so you do flags too?
Yeah.
Wow. So so basically, pretty much, you can get the job as the director, and then pretty much holler at you for all the, you know what I'm saying, I got a guy, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the goal, man. Because band directors, you spend too little of your time teaching music. That's the problem, You have to deal with parents. You got to order these stats. You got to call this company to get this. You got to know what guy that does drill. You know what guy that does music. You got to call this company to get your drum heads. It's too much. So what we try to do is we try to take care of all those things, and we ain't going to call anybody's parents for you. You still got to do that. And we're not going to put anybody in the band for you or teach them music. You can do that. But we'll handle all the other things for you so that you can focus. Because I'm going to tell you real quick, Joe, I don't believe, and anytime I hire somebody, I tell them this. But as far as the African American community is concerned, I don't believe there's another thing other than the church. There's not anything that supports the African American community as much as show style band. And I know we don't have time to get into it, so I'll just say that. And I say we want to make sure that we support those band directors while they are making a difference.
I really appreciate that last part because that's why I started doing this podcast, because I wanted that support, for our community, and I wanted to build that unity and that continuity. Because it's definitely easy at the church. We could definitely talk about our community as it relates to the church, but we definitely need more we need more combining efforts, combining of our resources to build community and build unity. And it's really cool what you're doing. I'm really excited about your company, really excited about Pub and the company. We'll be having Block Band commercials on all of the shows here on the Marching Podcast Network, so you'll hear from him. Rashad will also be doing posts through our Facebook page. Also, we'll be shooting or retweeting things that we see from him on Twitter, and also you can get his information or go to his website from our blog page as well. So I really appreciate the time, Rashad.
Well, we really appreciate you, man. Marching Podcast, that's a big deal, man. I mean, it's a radio show for Showstop Bands. All y'all need to listen to that. I mean, you got a radio show for everything else in the world. Why not have one for Showstop Bands? It's long overdue. So we are excited about what you're doing, man, and that's why we are, your first sponsor, because we want to see you do well as well. And you grow, we grow,
Outstanding, man. Well, we really appreciate it, Rashad, and we'll be hearing more from Block Band Music in the future.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back live, and we want to thanks to Rashad for his time with the interview. As you heard, Rashad will be doing the Prunalysis here on the 90 Degree Show this fall here on the Marching Podcast Network. Before we sign off, let's hear from our sponsors one last time. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please contact the show, and we'll give you the criteria so that we can start to pub your business using our platform. We will play your commercial, and we'll post information about your company and things on our website and on our blog, and we'll just help get out the information about what you're doing through our social media. So contact us so we can help build your business. We'll hear from our sponsors one last time before we sign off. Again, you can call in at 718-664-6025. That's 718-664-6025. Let's hear from our sponsors one last time.
Is your credit score keeping you from buying a home, a car, starting a business, or getting a job? Is your score keeping you from living the life you want? Well, look no further than Universal Credit Sources. UCS can help with charge-offs, collections, late payments, bankruptcy, foreclosure, debt settlement, tax liens, and more. Our program is affordable with results in as little as 40 days. Call now for your free 10-minute consultation with Senior Credit Analyst and Loan Officer Angie B. Call her direct line at 469-362-9904. That's 469-362-9904. Or check out the website at universalcreditsources.com. Universal Credit Sources for anything that's hurting your credit score. Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. And coming this fall, hbcubands.com. Write that down, hbcubands.com. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players in auxiliary and shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. This is David D. Frost Thompson.
And this is Bring the Pain, Howard Payne.
We will be your host for a new show on the Marching Podcast, the That's What I'm Talking About show. Produced by the founder of the Marching Podcast, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard. We will be addressing current events and topics that affect us all. You can find us on themarchingpodcast.com. Tweet us at TWIMTA or check us out on Facebook. So tune in your browser, turn up the volume, and turn on your mind to the That's What I'm Talking About show on the Marching Podcast Network.
All right, we're back live, and we really appreciate, we can never say that enough, we really appreciate the sponsors. The last show, or the last commercial you just listened to, was a new show that just premiered last week with my cousin and his frat brother and my new friend now, Howard Payne. That's What I'm Talking About shows. Really good show where they'll be talking about a lot of different things from various different issues of a lot of different topics or whatnot, so definitely tune into that every second Monday of the month. We also have another show premiering next month, and that will be a health podcast with my frat brother and another Hampton alum. It seems like these Hampton alums are definitely helping me out and along in my path here. But a Hampton alum, Mr. Marlon Griffith, will be hosting a health podcast show. He's now a certified personal trainer, and we're going to put a health podcast out so we can have healthy living tips out there for everyone in the community. So, like I said, the phone lines are open for anyone that wants to call in. We have a couple minutes left. I just really, like I said, I appreciate Rashad. He'll be doing the Prunalysis. We're really excited about that in the 90 Degree Show. And will really be platforming his business. Next week, I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag, as they say. Next week, we'll be hearing from Mr. Tyrone Brown, another sponsor of Big Deal Fundraising. You hear that? Big Deal Fundraising USA, shipping out of New York City from Brooklyn, New York. One of the first Brooklyn Steppers. He knew the arranger and the actual founder of the Brooklyn Steppers and marched under him, and now is doing big things in promotion. So, it's just a blessing to meet these young people, these young entrepreneurs doing well in their adult life. I always say that it's been great to see my friends and now growing up into adults how well that they've been doing. It's also good to meet other people through this venture, through the Martian Podcast, and just see that, wow, this guy's got, he's doing well for himself. So it's just been a blessing, to meet people like Rashad, and now you'll hear from Tyrone next week. And Tyrone was kind of the same thing. I'll tell you his story next week. So I was just getting excited about him telling you the story. But, these sponsors are allowing us to broadcast right now and, do certain enable functionalities here on Blog Talk Radio so we can have things for you. So, again, if you want to sponsor the network, feel free. We also have patrons that also contribute to the network that don't have a business or anything, but they just want to show some love so that we're okay. You can do that as well. I just appreciate everything and everyone. Again, to you, Rashad, shout out to you and Block Band Music. Your company is awesome. It's outstanding, and it's really special. I'm really happy to meet you and all our other sponsors as well. You'll be hearing from our announcer, David Thompson, all the time, like you always do. He's on the talk show. He's doing all the commercials and stuff. And also my sister is a sponsor, Miss Angie Beer for UniversalCreditSources.com, and also Gerard Howard, the great Gerard Howard of the bandhead.org website. Shout out to everyone. Much love. Thank you. We couldn't do this without you, so we'll end out the show. Thank you very much. That's all the time we have. Check out the website and donate what's in your heart to the www.themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but example is clear. See you next time.